Hello and welcome to Banks and Markets. This is Benham, and in this video I'm going to talk about Modified Sharpe Ratio. Let me open the PowerPoint slides, which is here. So you will see that in the PowerPoint slides we have a number of techniques, and we've already discussed several of these techniques in my previous videos. One of the techniques we discussed is Sharpe portfolio performance measure. So this is a risk adjusted return technique developed by William Sharpe in 1966, and here is the formula for it. Okay, that's the formula for Sharpe ratio, which I am going to write here. Sharpe is equal to excess return divided by the standard deviation, where excess return, as we know now from the formula, is the return of the portfolio minus the risk-free rate divided by, now standard deviation is the risk. Okay, this is Sharpe. So let us calculate the Sharpe ratio for two funds first. Okay, so there are two funds. One is fund A and another is fund B. Fund A and fund B is what we've got. Okay, so let me have some numbers. Okay, so first thing is the risk-free rate. So risk-free rate for both the funds are, let's say, 5%. Okay, now the funds are, let's say, in the same country, therefore the risk-free rate for the same time period would be the same. So that is fine. Now let's say that the return generated by these funds. Now fund A generated a return of, let's say, minus 10%. Okay, whereas fund B generated a return of, let me think, minus 4%. Okay, so this then basically means we can now calculate this part, which is the excess return. So therefore the excess return is going to be minus 10 minus 5, so minus 15 for fund A, minus 4 minus 5, minus 9 for fund B. So you can see here that compared to fund A, fund B is attractive because in this declining market period, fund B's return is only minus 4% negative, whereas fund A's return is minus 10% negative. So in fund B, we're talking about 600 basis point difference. So in fund B there is 600 basis point higher return, although in negative terms. Okay, now let's say that the volatility given by standard deviation is, for fund A, let's say it's 5, and for fund B it will be 3. So this then basically means we can quickly calculate the Sharpe ratio, which is going to be minus 15 divided by 5, which will be 3, of course minus, and minus 9 divided by 3 minus 3 again. So according to the Sharpe ratio, as we calculated, both fund A and B are giving the same risk adjusted return performance. So they can be ranked equal. Now clearly this should not be the case, because as we said, here we've got 600 basis point higher return enjoyed by fund B, and in the case of standard deviation, there is 200 basis point less risk for fund B. Okay, but this could not be taken care by the technique Sharpe ratio. Now let us see this with the help of modified Sharpe ratio now. Okay, so in the case of modified Sharpe ratio, as we said, this is the formula. Modified Sharpe ratio developed by Israelson 2005. Excess return divided by standard deviation. The exponent component is excess return again divided by the absolute of excess return. So that's what we need to do here. Excess return is minus 15 for fund A, divided by standard deviation is 5. Then we've got exponent component, which is again minus 15, but denominator is absolute, so therefore 15 only. Okay, that's for fund A. And in the case of fund B, minus 9 divided by 3, which is the standard deviation. In the exponent, we've got again minus 9 divided by absolute, therefore 9. So if you see here, it is going to give you minus 15 over 5 minus 1. 15 cancels out, minus 1. In case of fund B, minus 9 divided by 3 minus 1. So here minus 15 times 5 by 1. Okay, and here minus 9 times 3 by 1. So basically what we are going to get is minus 75 basis point, minus 75 MSR and minus 27 as the modified Sharpe ratio. Higher the better, which means these are negative numbers, so minus 27 is higher as compared to minus 75. This then basically means what we were able to understand here by looking into the numbers, the fact that fund B is performing better has been established correctly with the help of modified Sharpe ratio, but the Sharpe ratio was giving counterintuitive result. Okay, so what I will do now, I will request that you may like to look into the paper by Israelson, and the paper provides some interesting examples for you to apply and further practice modified Sharpe ratio, and that way you can look into detail of the modified Sharpe ratio. What I will also do, when I get time, I'll also be providing numerical illustration in Excel using this particular table, and so more exercises on modified Sharpe ratio will follow soon, wherein I will be using Microsoft Excel to illustrate the usefulness of modified Sharpe ratio. So thank you very much. This is Benam from Banks and Markets. Thank you.